guess good morning, good day, depends on where you are. If you're in America, I know it's good morning. If you where I am in Sweden, it's good day. What's up, Michael from Denmark? Let me add the screen here. We got some good action right from the get-go. We are currently in a trade on Euro JPY. Talked about this yesterday, looking very, very good. So we're going to be managing this trade today. We're going to be talking about why I took this trade. But first, I want to know, where are you guys from? I know we have Jan from Denmark. What's up, Jan? Talk with you yesterday. That we have Michael from Denmark. What is this? What is this? A Danish stream? All right, got monetary economics. Good morning. Probably from America. All right, got lots of people today. Wonderful, beautiful. We truly are a big global community. It's awesome to see all of you come together here to join us here for the The5ers live trading room this fine Wednesday. What's up, the amateur FX? We got the blessed trader. Got Rhode Island, the Philippines. You're from all over the place. Awesome. All right, so are you guys in any trades today? Let me know. Let me know if you're in any trades. Let me know in the comments. And if you're in any trades, and if there's time, we're definitely gonna be checking out the trades you're in. See if we can maybe join that trade. All right, so we have one being in Euro JPY. Well, that's amazing because we are currently, I have an open position on Euro JPY as well. So why not take this opportunity to break down this trade? We have Euro USD as well. Vendel is in, hopefully pronouncing that name correctly. I'm sorry if I'm totally butchering that. We have Euro JPY. We're going to look at that one. And then we have Euro USD. And let's check that one as well after. So what we're going to do is I'm going to break down the analysis on Euro JPY here, tell you a little bit about why I entered this trade, how I found the trade, why I entered, and also how I'm managing the trade right now. You see that this is currently up about 1.5 R. I have almost 4 R to TP. Usually I have these high R in case it starts running, but I usually never enter at that last TP because the trend usually breaks before that last TP is hit. And I want to talk a little bit about the market structure here and the changes in behavior that we're potentially seeing right now of this market structure. And of course, as you know, if you are a trend following trader, that there's one thing you really need to focus on, and that is not only do you need to understand exactly how to mark out market structure, look for that break and retest if that's what you like, but you also have to focus on the behavior of the trend that you're trading, because you want to make sure that behavior of the trend, you want to make sure that stays intact, because when there is changes in behavior, there is a possible reason to exit this trade. So let's break that down. So what we're seeing right now here is a very clear market structure, and I think most of you could agree that the market structure that we're seeing here on the 5-minute is bullish. Okay, so we have a low, a high, another low, that's a higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high. And guess what? This is another higher low. And then we have that surprise higher high. And now what we're forming here is a potentially higher low. But I'm seeing there's some potential change in behavior here. If we look at each low, and that's what I'm trying to focus on in this trend. Because as technical analysts, we want to find a trend. We want to ask ourselves, how can we participate in this trend while managing our risk accordingly? Well, the way we manage that risk is by using technical analysis. And in this case, the way I use technical analysis to manage the risk is by determining the behavior of the lows, because the The swing points at the lows, those are the area that we want to focus on for a potential invalidation. The time frame I'm watching here is the 5-minute, and this trend is also quite looks quite good on the 15-minute as well. And by the way, by the way, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. The like button, very important. Hit it. It will activate that YouTube algo. We'll get more people into the live stream. We'll help more people become profitable traders, right? And as you all know, this stream here, this live stream, is strictly for educational purposes and informational purposes only. Always do your own research. We are not responsible for any trades that you take based on this. You should always manage your risk accordingly and make sure to always do your due diligence. Now, let's look at the lows here. Let's see. I entered this trade based on that break and retest. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I always wait for confirmation. So I'm not just going to place orders on the level as soon as we hit it or on the breakout. I will wait for the level to get hit. And once the level get hit, I wait for confirmation. The case of this trade was a bullish engulfing candle here on the 5-minute. And also, I wanted to see the stochastics RSI on the 5-minute giving me a rounded bottom or a bull cross below 30. So that's exactly what you're seeing here on the stochastics RSI, a bull cross below 30, while the 5-minute is also giving me a 5-minute bullish engulfing candle. I entered, I believe, at market on the candle close right here, and I put my stops well below the level that created the entry trigger. So because of the fact that I used this swing low as my area of invalidation, well, logically, every new higher low should be my new area of invalidation. So here we see a new higher low. What this tells me is, well, price should definitely not go below this low for this trade or this trend to be valid. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving my stop loss up. Why can't I move that one? Yeah, that's the stop loss. I'm going to move my stop loss like right on these wicks, okay? And for those of you wondering, you can see right here, I am on Oanda demo. That does not mean I'm not trading live. I have a demo account connected to a copy trader that gets copied over to my account on The5ers, as you can see right here on MetaTrader. I just find it much simpler to trade via TradingView. Now, if you guys want me to show you how that is set up, let me know in the comments if you like to see how that works. Because I know some of you love MetaTrader, some of you hate MetaTrader. I like TradingView, so I'm kind of like trying to use that as much as possible because it's faster for me to manage the trade and the risk. Now, this is the point of invalidation of this trend. If price comes lower than that here, we are out. I want to get out. But here we are now seeing a new structure forming. Could this be a double bottom? If this is a double bottom, and this kind of looks like a lower high, if we break lower here and we form a lower low, well, this would also, in my opinion, perhaps invalidate the trend. Just like this structure here could have invalidated the trend, where we had a high and then a lower high, but then we created a higher low. If price would have gone down here, well, I wouldn't have been like, I would be okay with getting stopped out on this one because my idea is now invalidated. So going back to my original idea, I have to ask myself, what was the original idea? What type of market structure and what type of trend behavior were I looking for when entering the trade? And I was looking for exactly this type of structure that we're seeing right now, but not this. I do not want price to start forming a low time frame range here and then break down. Because remember, guys, and I'm going to be talking about this a lot, the picture perfect image of market structure where you have an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows that enters a range. Range lows breaks it upside, downside, usually get retested, forms a downtrend. A range forms, breakout, retest range highs, forms an uptrend. That's mostly what markets do. They tend to trend. And most of the time, at the end of an uptrend, you have a range. At the end of a downtrend, you have a range. And what we're seeing right now is potentially a range forming. We have the first clue of a change in behavior, which is equal lows. Now, if we get something like this, I might just move stops to the low of that range in case it breaks down, and hope for continuation. So that would just be a pause of the trend, and then we'll see continuation to the upside to hit that target. But is it too late, or is it too early to move my stops to below this level? And I think it is. I have an alert up here. The alert up here says move stops to TP1. So when price breaks out here, I will move stops here, which means I have my stops below the possible range lows and also at the invalidation level of this trend. The reason why I think it's too early to move my stops here is because there is a good looking level right here. We could still see a hit of this level and the trend would still be intact. So I think as long as if price can move below your stop loss and the trend is still intact, I think it's too early to move that stop loss. And I'm definitely giving back lots of profits on this trade if it's gonna break down. And in hindsight, I'm gonna say I should have moved that stop up. But the way I'm scalping, the way I'm trading when I'm trading lower timeframes is I'm looking for the high targets. So the way I'm swing trading is I always take profit at that last local high. I'm not really looking for that trend to continue if I'm trading more of a swing trade where I have the position open for a couple of days, because I know that the longer you stay in a trade, the bigger problems, like the bigger the risk that the trend is ending, right? So let's say, for example, that this trade is trading up here. So Euro JPY is trading up here tonight. Then in a couple of hours, when I'm not at my desk, I'm just gonna exit, right, and just take the money and run. And I'm really hoping that we're gonna see that breakout here live, so I can show you how I manage the trades live. And honestly, guys, like it's that finger to move the stop loss, it's like it's itching. I just want to move it, right? And I think a lot of you can relate to this. A lot of you can relate. You're seeing this, and you're like, oh, I'm good profit. I need to secure the trade. I need to secure the trade. But guess what? So many times you'll see that trade just go like this. Okay? And you have your stop loss right here. I mean, how many times haven't that happened? This is amazing. This is amazing. Let me know. So you have almost the same entry. You've taken profits. That's not really helping my scenario, but I'm glad you took profits, and congratulations, man. That was an awesome entry, and yeah, I'm happy for you. And while we're on the subject, let me know in the comments. Are you a swing trader or a scalper? Let me know. I'm very interested to know what. Because you know what, like at the 5ers, we have huge plans here for the future. We have big plans. We're ramping up the content creations, and the more information we have about you guys, the more tailored content we can create for you guys. So if 10 of you tells me that you have problems identifying where to put the stop loss, I'll create a video for that. I'll create a video, I'll upload that, and I'll make sure that you all know exactly where you should place your stop loss. This indicator, so this indicator, it's actually I've just took lots of different indicators that I'm using in my trading and just combine it into one trading. So what you're seeing right here is just the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA. It's very simple. You can just enter those EMAs, just the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA. And then I also have the weekly open and monthly open. And if you go out to the 4-hour, you'll see that in the indicator I also have the daily and 50 EMA as well as dotted line. So it's just a way for me not to have. It's actually interesting because what I've done with this indicator, and it's not really available, but it's an interesting example of what you can do if you know how to code indicators, and I would love to help you guys with that as well. So what you can do is like you can combine all the indicators you're using in your system into one indicator, and then what I managed to do is I managed to create buy and sell signals by coding the entry triggers of my system into this. And look at that, it's beautiful long signals. We have almost on every low here we have a couple of long signals. So these long signals are absolutely not even close to being profitable on its own, but it's a very good way for me to create signals and to alert me on if there's a possible trade or not. Because whenever there's a signal here on the 4 hour, I will get an alert to my phone, which then pops up on my watch, and I can easily just check the screen on my phone. If there's a possible trade, I'll go into my office and I'll take the trade. So I do recommend, that you think about that. Think about how can you automate your own trading? How can you make trading as simple as possible? Because I truly believe that good trading is simple. It's effortless. If you look back at your best trade, well, the best trade are the ones that you remember as effortless. When you just felt like everything clicked, you're going to enter here, you're going to exit here, and everything just happened exactly as you wanted it to happen. And I think that's what trading is all about. Like this trade here, for example, I saw my entry trigger happening right here. I had my plan already worked out, and I just entered just like that, and without any hesitation. And that's it. That's it. I mean, simplicity is the key to success, right? I really think it's that simple. Scalping, but leaving a runner for as long as possible. That's a good strategy. I think that's a really good strategy as long as you're able to like trail that stop loss. All right, I do both. I'm mostly scalping, swing and scalping, swing mostly. So that's good information to know. Um, and the same indicator looks different. Yeah, so I actually the system I use is I use the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA on all time frames for all markets for all pairs, and I do find it to work very well. I've used many different indicators, and I found the 20 and the 15 combination is just that perfect, the perfect combination for me. And it's all about what works for you. I mean, we all have very different trading styles, and there's thousands, tens of thousands of different trading systems and trading strategies out there, and it's all about what works for you. But honestly, like at the same time as there's like thousands of trading strategies out there, what most of them have in common, in my opinion, or I guess almost 99% of them, is the idea of identifying market structure and horizontal levels. I think that is really a core aspect of technical analysis. So remember yesterday in the Discord Coffee with Traders, where Anna has the morning session, I talked a little bit about my system, and someone said, "Oh, well, it's basically this system." And then I said, like, "Well, most trading systems are the same thing, as different variations of the same thing, and it's just either you are if you're trend following trader, you're probably a breakout trader or a break and retest trader, but you're looking at the same market structure. You're looking at trend behavior and trend analysis in very similar ways." All right, Euro JPY, we have the alert set for this one. Let's go down to the 1 minute to see what we have. I think on the 1 minute, it tells us that if we do break above this high, it might be time to move stops to the TP1 level right here. So I'm just gonna use my template here for stop losses, and I'm gonna place it right here. That's gonna be the new a new level where I have the stop loss. And looking at the 1 minute, if we do break above this structure here, I do think we have a change in behavior of this range here. So if this is the range, I would say that this structure here might be the breakout of that range. We might come up and test this level, but then if we go down here, I probably want to exit the trade anyway. So it looks like we're about to hit that price target right now. And if we do, I'm probably going to stop moving my stops up. So we have that alert set. We're going to get an alert whenever it's time to move stops on that one. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold. We have some ideas on gold here. So let's first look at the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, honestly, gold for me is very messy. And also, as you can see here, my indicators are all over the place. We have the weekly open here. We have the 4-hour moving averages here. We have the daily 20 EMA. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, my general idea here for gold is, yeah, I'm not going to trade this because, like I said in yesterday's live stream, if I can't see anything very clear in the first 20 seconds of watching a chart, I'll just move on to the next one. There is no need for me to try to force anything when it's not super clear. The best trades are the ones that are obvious. And if there's nothing obvious, you move on. If you have to look for a trade too hard, it's not an obvious trade. And if it's not an obvious trade, it's not the trade you want to take. So on gold here, now you talked about the 1 minute and the 5 minute, but I think for me it's very important to do that top-down analysis. I start with the daily or the 4-hour, then I go down to the 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, and then finally the 1 minute, because I want them to somewhat all align. So let's remove the levels here and let's add some levels here. So on the 1 hour, we have that local high. We have that level right now. Looks like it's broken. We got that to the downside and then that one. So let's go into the 15 minute. I mean, on the 15 minute, this is just a very messy range. But we have the levels marked out. And on the 5 minute, we are seeing somewhat of a trend. So if I would want to short this on the 5 minute, I would probably look at something like this, where I'm looking for, but I mean, it's yeah, I'm not really liking how this looks. Maybe wait for something like that down to this level and then that level. So we have two TPs. That would be TP1, and then this would be TP2. Either I would take like 50-50, 50 on one and 50 on two, or maybe if it looks likely that TP2 is going to hit, probably 25% on TP1, 75 on TP2, but at least secure the position at TP1 because that's a major support level within this range. So entry for that one would be make sure that stop loss is wide. I like to have a wide stop loss on gold as well if I'm trading gold. Not trading gold that often, but when I do trade gold, I want to make sure that I have a fairly wide stop loss. So we have that trend line coming in right there. So we might just hit the 50% fib. So entry would be somewhere in that area. We have 1.5-ish to TP1 and would secure the trade at that point and then let it run down to TP2. And that would be, in my opinion, I think a weird trade, but makes sense. It's in a range, but it's somewhat of a 5-minute trend. On the 1 minute, I'm not liking what the 1 minute is doing here, but I do like what the 5 minute is doing. I think I would probably stick to the 5 minute and manage this trade on the 5 minute as well, not have to go down to the 1 minute and make decisions based on the 1 minute. That will, I mean, for me, that just mean I'm going to take some bad decisions on the 5 minutes. What's your JPY doing? Let's go. You know what? Going back and forth when I have an open position like this is not a good sign. I have an alert. Just stay. stay with it. Like just let the alerts do its thing. There's no point of me watching your JPY unless these alerts goes up. What we know, however, is the longer it ranges here, the in my opinion, the bigger the chance that this local trend is failing. So if we stay in this range for the next 20 minutes or so, I will just move my stops up without waiting. And it looks more likely that I'll move my stops up soon. So let's go through this list because I do have quite a few pairs I want to show you guys. And can you put alerts on MT5? Yeah, no problem. MT5 should have price alerts, definitely. And guys, we're getting a lot of new viewers, so welcome to the 5ers live trading room, where we do live trading and live analysis every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 2 p.m. UTC and 9 a.m. EST. Remember to hit that like button. I'd very much appreciate it if you could hit the like button, and also let me know, because I'm a bit curious about your trading styles. Would you say that you're a systematic trader or a discretionary trader? So for me, for example, I have a very specific system with entry and TPs and stop losses, very, very specific. And but I'm also able to trade that system from a discretionary approach. You could say I have two ways of trading. One is strictly systematic, is following the entry criteria of the system, and the other one is when I have time to actually manage the trades like I have today. I'm usually more of a discretionary trader. So I would like to know like the ratio of you guys watching. How many of you are discretionary trader or strictly systematic? I think most of you are discretionary. Let's talk about Euro AUD, because this is the trade we talked about yesterday. I did actually enter this trade after the session yesterday, but I managed to oh, absolutely 100%. I have no fundamental bias at all. I've been trading for many years. I do not care about fundamentals at all. I do believe that everything you need to know about the market is in price. Now, of course, I'm not saying, what I'm not saying here that you shouldn't be a fundamental trader. I'm not saying that that doesn't work. It absolutely works. What I'm saying is you could be a technical, a 100% TA guy and a 100% FA person. You would still be profitable. It's all about having a consistent approach and just continuing to repeat whatever is working, right? But yeah, the only fundamental analysis I do is to go over to the economic calendar to make sure that there's no high impact news events for the pairs I'm trading. And I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade through any of the big news events for the US USD. So FOMC, CPI, and NFP, those sort of events, I try to stay out of the market during those events, or at least not enter, 2 or 1 hour before the events. After the events, like an hour after, that's fine, but not during. So let's cover Euro AD and why I was interested in Euro AD yesterday. So we had this local 15-minute trend. So the local 15-minute trend right here looked quite good. And I think I entered when we kind of started breaking out here. And it looked fairly good, at least when it started breaking out. And the idea here was that when we broke above these highs here, I would move my stops to entry. Now, unfortunately, it moved lower. And I think I exited this trade somewhere around here. So for small loss, I would say maybe a break even trade, like a very small loss. But this is this is an example of a trade where I've used a similar approach as to Euro JPY. Now, Euro JPY is on the idea here was a mix of the 15-minute and the 5-minute. And that's because I'm looking at the 15-minute and there's a clear level here on the 15-minute. But on the 5-minute was when I actually uh, saw the confirmation. And the same thing goes for Euro AUD. You had a very clear 15-minute trend right here, but this is a good example of a trade where the trend is just ending where you're entering. And as soon as you start seeing those changes in behavior, it's better to get out of the trade. But I think the biggest reason why I got out of this trade was because I was just about to go to bed, and I knew that I don't want to leave this trade open for the next, 6 or 7 hours or so without being able to manage it. So I'm better off just closing it. All right, so we'll just wait for the alerts on Euro JPY before moving the stop loss on that one. Let's go through the list here. We talked about AUD CAD as a potential short here on Monday, and now we have a completely different scenario here. So when you have a plan and you make plans, especially for me in the beginning of the week, now today it is something completely different. So in this case, I'm just gonna remove the drawings for this. I'm gonna move AUD CAD down to list number 2, and I might go through list number 2 maybe tomorrow or this weekend to find new opportunities, because I have enough ideas here on list number 1 to find a trade. Right, we were gonna look at Euro USD as well. We had one person in the comments talking about Euro USD. I think, yeah, I mean, looking at the 4 hour, there's a reason Euro USD is on the second list here, not the first list, is because it's a very messy market structure, not very clear. 4 hours not giving me anything. The 1 hour is just giving me sort of a range feeling here. Now on the lower time frames, there is of course the argument that you might have a break and retest here, because you can clearly see how you have a pretty nice downtrend here, range breakout, and maybe the start of a new low time frame local uptrend with the downtrend, range, and uptrend. And for that, maybe that would be a good target. But you also see that you have that weekly open right here, and you might want to go long here. If we add the fibs, you'll see that there's pretty good level here right inside the reload zone, confluent with that level. You might want to try to find an entry on here with stops below the 0.786 or like this general area right here. But then again, we have that weekly open right there. So most likely the weekly open is going to get used as resistance, because it just does so many times in the past, and it just usually the weekly open works very well as support and resistance. And actually, I mean, there is it's 1.45 R up to that level. If you're scalping this, maybe take a small profit, move stops to entry for TP2 up in that area, which is 3.2. If you're feeling risky, just moving stops to entry at weekly open, letting it run up to that target, maybe. But for me, it's just, I want to make sure that there's not a lot of too much in the way. And here for this example, there's just way too many stuff here, too much in the way that's stopping me to long this. You have the daily 50 MA here. So yeah, not very interesting. That's a very interesting question. If I start talking about ICT, I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people love me and a lot of people hate me. That's in the world of trading. This is such a controversial topic to talk about in the live streams. So yeah, I don't have an opinion. All I know is I don't really like. I started trading in 2017, and I started hearing about order blocks and that sort of stuff pretty late, and I never really understood what ICT was or who ICT was until you had all this drama on Twitter and all that stuff like in the last year or two, and I never really spent a lot of time focusing on that, and I haven't really watched much of his content. I know a lot of people swear by it though, and a lot of but I know people really love that stuff and they're profitable using some of his techniques. So that's great. That's awesome. I've also had heard some really weird stories, but that's for another time. All right, so let's see. Euro AUD. Actually, that's an interesting question. How many of you trading like ICT concepts here? Because I've seen that they're quite like last year or so. They're like very popular. I think it's basically just the same thing as everything else, just different names. Like I have one name for a specific fib zone, called the RLZ, the reload zone. That's something I learned from a mentor all the way back in 2018. And I'm sure there's people having other names for that. And some people call it horizontal support and resistance. Some say supply and demand. I think it's just like I said in the beginning, like you have market structure, you have ranges and trends, and you have you know changes in behavior, you have break in market structure. That's basically it. That's like technical analysis in a nutshell. And you can take that and you can create different names for everything and put together a system and call it whatever and sell it or whatever, but it's like the very basics of technical analysis is super simple. It's just market structure, horizontal support and resistances, break-in structure, behavioral trend. It's quite simple. So AD NCD, we talked about this yesterday. We wanted to see a break and retest basically. So we had a really good level here where we broke the downside. And I remember saying that if price comes up here and we get rejected, that might be a reason for a trade. I think if you go down to the lower time frames, you might have gotten an entry here. So on the 15-minute, let's just say, we want to find we want to get like a clear rejection here on the 15-minute. So maybe a drop below these lows or something like that. Yeah, you see, I think that entry would have been like the risk to reward is too bad. This is too low. I think maybe on those two bearish candles, you might have gotten an entry, or if you had like a stop limit order here, you could have gotten an entry here. And I would probably like a trade on this. I would probably secure it down here because it's such a clear level here. So I would probably secure the trade or even TP down here, but that wouldn't have happened. So this would most likely not have been a profitable trade. So that would probably have been a loser if we took that trade. And again, the idea of shorting ADNCD is gone, and the whole structure of this chart is way different than what it was yesterday. So I'm going to move that down to list number 2, the S&P 500. Well, the idea that we talked about in the idea that we talked about yesterday. All right, so we got Euro JPY says move stops TP1. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to break out here above that local range. So yeah, I'm just going to move that TP up here to that level, because now also enough time has gone by to say that we have clear change in behavior here. And if we break this level to the downside, we're going to get stopped out for a 1.3 R trade, which is acceptable. Now, what I want to do is, now that we're actually getting close to TP, I want to make sure that I have the right profit target. And usually what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm front running any major resistance area. So I make sure that I TP before we hit resistance, not when we hit resistance, because most people will have their profit target set at the resistance. And if there's not enough selling power up at that area, we're not going to get through that resistance area. We're going to reverse before hitting it. So I want to make sure that I front run to make sure that my orders get filled before everyone else. So we look at the daily. What's the level here on the daily? My TP area is that one right there. Let me actually change that to a blue TP line. So that's that one. Okay. And I think that that makes sense. What I want to focus on is, yeah, I will explain how this all works, but I want to do it in a more structured way. It's going to take probably longer than 20 minutes. So let me plan a webinar for you guys with this, and we'll take that another day. I think right now this is the perfect opportunity to cover this trade here and how we can manage that live. But I promise I will have time in another webinar or live stream where we do cover that. So it's important that we focus on the most recent price action, which is, I would say it's this here and these wicks here we want to be focused on, especially on the 4 hours. So let's move it here. Actually, let's take a look at this structure here on the 4 hour. Yeah, so you can see the price is currently testing these lows, and it's these lows that are creating the resistance. Let's move to the right. Let's look at what we have here. Now I would say we have a pretty good level right here. I think that would be a really good TP level. So let's put another one here as an alternative. Then I'm going to move that to the left to see if it lines up with this area to the left, and it kind of does. I think that would be a good level. Let's go to the 1 hour to see what that area looks like on a 1 hour. So that's the original TP, and that's the new one. Yes, if we break above that level, we should hit this one. Now, what would the risk to reward be if we TP at this level instead of that one? Well, I think so. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm giving away 0.7 R in profit, but I think it's worth it because I think it's highly likely that we'll get another push to the upside, perhaps hit this level and then reverse. So I don't think, it doesn't really look likely. We have way too much resistance in the way before hitting that last TP. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my TP down here. So this is now a 3.15 R trade, and my stop loss is locked in at 1.3. So I think I'm happy with that. I will go with that. And I don't think there's much more to do with this trade now. I have the stop loss set and I have the TP set, and basically anything can happen here. I would be happy with either stop loss getting hit or TP getting hit. So I'll just leave Euro JPY alone until any of my levels get hit. What did we look at? We looked at the S&P 500. So if you guys remember on Monday, we talked about how this W structure here on the S&P 500, if we broke that neckline to the upside, we would see that move to the monthly open. And that's exactly what we got. And we are testing the monthly open as resistance right now. It does look likely that, well, obviously we're testing resistance with quite bullish momentum, so it does look likely that we're going to break out, but anything can happen. We have no idea what's going to happen. But if we do break above this resistance area that's also confluent with the monthly open, I think of course we have a possibility of seeing a break and retest of this level for a move even higher. And if the S&P 500 breaks this level to the upside, we're probably going to see Bitcoin moving higher as well. So speaking of Bitcoin, let's take a quick look here at Bitcoin. Very messy shot here. Let's see if we can. I think that's the one. We're looking at Bitstamp. Now remember, when you're trading like this, when you're using TradingView and you're switching back and forth between TradingView and MetaTrader, especially with an asset like Bitcoin, then you're looking at oil, Bitcoin, and indices, stuff like that. You need to make sure that the prices are not too different. Most of the time, I'm not going to use my copy trader for indices, silver, gold, oil, and Bitcoin and Ethereum. I need to do that manual because the prices are usually very different between different exchanges, and it's just going to be very weird when you're just copying straight off. So looking at Bitcoin here, we have obviously a quite, I mean, the overall structure here, there's a lot of wicks. It's not very clear, but we have a fairly clean level down in this area. I'm not really seeing a trade right now. I think maybe if we see something like this, I might want to go long here, but I'd like to watch Bitcoin on the like the higher time frames, at least the daily or the 4 hour. I do like the fact that we have the weekly open here. It's yeah, we're probably going to test that level. I do think we might test that level, and if we do test that level, I'm going to look for a reclaim of the 45,500 area before looking for any longs, and the target for that trade would probably be the last local highs. Yeah, I think that is a decent idea for Bitcoin. We get GBP, JPY is breaking out. So what I'm seeing here is, and I think we talked about this one on, I think Monday or yesterday, where we had this massive range here on GBP, JPY, and we had that fake out stuff going on, and then that would have been the real fake out. So it kind of looks like we might be forming a new local trend here. We are hitting a resistance area here, and I would argue that we have a big resistance area going through here. That's probably gonna be where we get rejected. And if we do get rejected, I would look for a new trend to form that might look something like this. But I wouldn't be betting on this breakout. I would probably only go down into the lower time frames, like the 1 hour, or the 15-minute. Look for that break and retest of the weekly open right here. With that, I would probably perhaps enter on something like this, where you have a move down to the weekly open, a rounded bottom, before I move back up to that resistance area. And I would actually TP up here, because that is a major resistance area. I don't think we're going to be breaking through that area unless after a couple of touches. So a trade like this might make sense. TP up here, stop loss probably around this area. I think that kind of makes sense. So let's put some alerts on here. That might be a trade for I don't know. Maybe when I wake up in the morning, I'll have that alert going off, or maybe when I'm sleeping. Let's see. Might be a trade for tomorrow. For any of you in the Discord server, I usually, when these alerts play out and I have a trade to enter, I usually post it in the Discord server. So definitely, if you're a 5ers trader, make sure you're in the Discord server. Then we'll have USDJPY. I guess that's one breaking out as well. Same structure. Oh, that's a beautiful signal right there. So same structure. But not really. I think GBP JPY is the interesting one right here. I mean, there might be a possibility of seeing a touch of the weekly open and then back up to the daily 50 EMA. So that might be some sort of trade to take. Let me know if you have any charts you want me to look at. So let me know in the comments if you do have any pairs you want me to take a look at. CAD JPY is showing very similar. Now CAD JPY I'm liking, because on CAD JPY you have that weekly open in confluence with a high time frame level. So I really like that. So a retest of the weekly open, or perhaps these levels lower here, might be something to watch. The TP again would probably be up here. So I would be looking at something like this. I would wait for that level to get hit. So the Discord link to join the Discord, if you are if you have a challenge, I believe, or a funded trader, you should have access to the hub, and inside the hub, you will find the Discord link. I believe it should be. I have to look that up, but in the hub, you should find it. I think in the upper right corner. I can't swear on that, but it should be there. USD CHF. Let's look at that one. But yeah, that would be the CAD JPY trade. I'm going to be adding a alert here. All right, so we have. Thank you. Let me know if you want me to watch anything. If you have any short requests or anything. USD CHF. So it seems like the CHF pairs have been. I haven't been interesting in trading any of the CHF pairs, because it's such a weird. I don't know. I think this is a weird structure going on here, but it's just hard to trade this for me, because it's, we have that downtrend. I obviously want to short, but then we have like clear change in behavior of that trend. We might see something like this and a new trend forming, like a high time frame trend. So I mean, on the 4 hour, this is just not tradable for me. On the 1 hour, the problem I'm having here with the 1 hour is that looking to the left here, we have like a structure here that's just very clear resistance, and that resistance level also aligned with that one. But then below we have this level, which is also acting as resistance. We have this this resistance area right here, and it's a quite messy chart. So if we want to, for example, if we want to long this, we will want to see maybe a move down to the weekly open. But then if we long lower than current prices, we have a new resistance area, because this is support now, and that support has to break for us to find an entry. So we have even lower, and then price maybe could go down to this level, and that might make sense, but we're not nowhere close to that. So for me, the way I'm trading and the way I'm analyzing the markets, USD CHF tells me that it's just there's nothing going on here. At least not for me. Euro USD. Let's take a look at Euro USD. On the 4 hour, I guess, if you have if you take a zoomed out look, all right, let's we have one on EU here as well. Low time frame buy setup on EU. You have bullish engulfing on 5-minute, possible short term buy, but worth holding. And nice. So yeah, I think on the overall, look at the 4-hour. An uptrend, right? Higher highs, higher lows, like massive uptrend. Below the weekly open, not liking the fact that we are below the weekly open. Now, one thing is, if we can get that entry on the 5-minute, using the weekly open as target would be fantastic. 4-hour, overall, high time frame bullish, in a range in the 4-hour, in somewhat of a range on the 1-hour. We have a level here getting hit. Maybe, I think I looked at this. Actually, I'm on the wrong layout. You see, I'm on Bitcoin main here. If I go back to your USD, you'll probably see the same levels being marked out here. Yeah, so this is the yeah, this is what we looked at on your USD. You're right. So, but there's just on the 5-minute. I mean, there's just so much going on here. You have to mark out these levels as well. So there's like there's a level going on like right here. Okay, so that's support, and then there's level here. That's just, it's such a messy chart, right? It's just it seems to be like some sort of resistances, low time frame resistance, all over the place. But yeah, not the more I look at it, it kind of makes sense. Where's the weekly open? Oh yeah, the weekly open is right there. I talked about this. Yeah, right. So TP1 would be weekly open. Then you would have to hold this up here. So all right, should we try a long here? Can take a trade live here. So let me know in the comments if I get more yeses than no, I will take this trade. Half risk, because it's just, I'm letting you guys decide, which is never a good idea. Should I take the trade or not? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. This is collective trading, or should I say collective gambling? Bad influence. Don't try this at home. Okay, I got 2 minutes. Got 2 minutes. Let me know, trade or not. Trade or not. Yes, it's trade. Wait on the engulfing, but agree it's messy with the high time frame breaks on both sides. Yeah, that's not a good answer. Making me question my decision here. Yeah, I think yeah. I mean, it also depends on where the candle is going to close, because I kind of want to have my orders here and something like this. So I might. So would you say that, would you market enter, or would you put limit orders? Because I think like obviously now with this massive godlike candle on the 5-minute, I mean, we can't market enter at this one. So what I would do, like I would probably want to place limit orders on like lower, because it might just come back down before moving higher, and obviously, yeah, limit order. Exactly, got limit order, GBP USD equal highs likely. Yeah, let's check that one. But yeah, so this is, I mean, this is obviously a trigger. So let's see. I'm gonna do 0.5 risk on this one, and we'll see if this works out. If I get stopped out on this one, I will never ask you for advice again. Never. I take no responsibility for this trade. Okay, we got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's put in the orders, and now just straight to TP without hitting all orders. All right. Manas Trading says he prefers GBP USD over Euro USD. Well, thank you for telling me right after entering the orders. No, I'm kidding. Thank you. Let's take a look at that. Well, the thing with Euro, well, yeah. Let's see. That's actually a pretty good level. But the problem I'm having here, and obviously you're not watching the same stuff that I am, you don't have the same indicators, but the problem I'm having is just the confluence here with the monthly open and the weekly open. So basically what I'm doing is like I'm just buying right at a very strong, like there's a lot of confluences of indicators to be used as resistance. But yes, I agree that this whole structure of a downtrend and somewhat of a range and a break and retest here looks good. It does look good. And of course, what was the trade I took? Was it Euro USD? I mean, yeah. So if Euro USD is gonna move higher, obviously, all right. So at what point do I remove the orders? Is my only concern here. All right. So Hannes probably. Your limit order is 109. Oh, wow. Really? Holy shit. That's two. Wow. Great minds think alike. But obviously, we're not that great because price is just way away. Not very close to our entry. And this is when you want to move into the 1 minute and be like, oh, look at that. I could have entered here. Yeah, I mean, high sign trading is the best type of trading. I would have made so much money if I was just able to just trade using the replay function, right? It's beautiful. So let me, because you guys told me to enter this trade, so maybe you should tell me what would be the scenario here for exiting. Now, what I'm seeing is, well, not exiting, but removing the orders. And I think getting above this level, reclaiming the weekly open, that's where we are removing the orders. You're used to it's getting a little bit high risk now to leave the limit on, in my opinion, due to continued pushing. Would have been much nice to get the retrace first, and then exactly, this is very, very good thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well. So I would probably want to remove. And then we have some comments on the dollar. I'd like to say the dollar cost average, but that's not the oh my god, I'm brain dead. The dollar currency index. Yes, the DXY, the DXY. Yeah, okay. Where do we have that one? Is it? Yeah, probably. I should have that on the watch list, but I don't. All right, so it looks like it got stopped out on Euro JPY. No, holy goddamn! Look at that! It broke out. We are rich. All right, semi-rich. It's only one trade, but we're getting there. Well, it's finally nice to be able to hit some profit targets live. So that's pretty cool. Had one trade, one 3.50 in our trade today, and then yesterday. So I only took two trades this week, and we are up 3R. That's the power of not trading. And honestly, guys, I truly believe that, the less you trade, the more money you're going to make. There's people taking, 10, 20 trades a day, and they're like, oh, I'm up 5R at the end of the month. Well, guess what? We're up 3R this week. We took two trades, extremely simple, minimum screen time. Gold. Yeah, we just looked at gold. a while ago, and I think my idea of what the fudge, man. Yeah, we looked at this and I'm like, huh, maybe we should short this area, but probably not because it's a messy chart. Maybe I should stop looking at this and saying it's a messy chart. And next time I see an idea, I should just take it because this worked out way better than I expected. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for making me look at this. So now for gold, I don't know. I mean, what am I thinking about gold? Other than holy shit, how could we have missed this? Like right now. Looked at this. When did we look at this? We looked at this 40 minutes ago. Literally 40 minutes ago, I said, like, maybe we can get a rejection up here. Didn't I have an alert? Did I miss it? Nah, I had no alert on that one. Well, that's stupid. Um, we have long on ADJPY. We got a long on ADJPY. Let's see. By the way, press that like button. Press that like button if you like this live trading and live analysis. Beautiful, by the way. This is a good shot. Let me know what time frame you're on, what time frame you're entering on, and also we can't forget about Euro USD, which it looks like we're long. Wow, really? Did it hit it? Wow, that's amazing. We're long. Well, only partial, but I do not care. Because we're in. God damn, look at that. It's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm way too euphoric for this. Shouldn't be this happy. You know, this as soon as you start feeling like everything's just going your way, everything's just, great. Close all trades, leave the office. Because when you start getting confidence, like too much confidence, that's when you start to draw down. Yeah. But yeah, I should definitely ask you more often about trading advice. Next Monday, I'm just gonna say like, all right, so let's what chart, what time frame, just give me the entry, stop loss, and TP, please, and I'm just gonna start trading whatever you say. I work several time frames weekly, 5, 50 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, it's good. That's Euro USD, 80 JPY. We had was it 80 JPY? Yeah, you're long 80 JPY. So let's start from the 4-hour. Okay, this is high time frame resistance. So first of all, we're at high time frame resistance right here. So looking at the low time frames, I want to long this, but we are at high time frame resistance. Got to keep that in mind. So manage the risk accordingly. Move stop loss quick. Take profits whenever possible. Right. 4-hour strong momentum, hitting resistance, huge move. Should be cooling down, right? We should be seeing rejection here. 1 hour, not really telling me much. This level has already been tested. So the breakout level here with that nice thrust candle here on the 1 hour, it has already. All right, Michael, we got the gold expert. Congrats, man. Nice. You made some money on that. Congrats. All right, so 15 minute. We have that break and retest. So I am starting to see what I believe is possibly changing behavior here. You have a high here, possibly a lower high, maybe a range here. As soon as this range forms, I would just get out. because we are a high time frame resistance. We even have the weekly open down here. Like I think going below this level, maybe forming something like this, yeah, I would just get out of the trade if I'm in this trend, because that it doesn't. It kind of, I mean, looking at the 5 minute, it does look like you do have that level here, and breaking higher could definitely be a good case to secure this trade, trade, not trend. So yeah, definitely would definitely secure this if we break out. I hope I'm not supposed to be picking up my son at school today, because if it is my responsibility today, I am late. So either we end the live stream or we wait for a call from the school. We're going to wait for a call, of course, because we're traders. And we have to take care of our trades. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. It's probably not me today. Look at your USD. My second son. Love it. It's making me money. Well, not a huge amount of money, because I had half a risk on this. Wish I had 100 times the risk on this one at this point. But yeah, it is what it is. You can't go all in every day. Exactly. I mean, he's gonna come home and it's like, nobody picked me up. I had to walk 2 hours from school. Like, what the hell? And I'm like, well, look at this. I got lots of candy for you. I'm gonna give him a bag of candy, and it's gonna says Euro USD. That's it. It's just gonna say Euro USD. It's like, Dad, what is this? Like, this is courtesy of the market makers, my son. Yeah, long-term investment in kids is risky. Yeah, way risky. Yeah, by the way, guys, I want to thank you all. Thank you all for tuning into these live streams. We are doing these live streams every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 p.m. UTC and 9 a.m. EST. And so this is the last live stream of the week, and it's been great doing these. This is the first week working for the 5ers and doing this with you guys, and I can really see us, trading a lot together, learning a lot together. I'm sure I'm going to be learning a lot from you guys in the comments as well, and I have a lot to teach you guys as well from my 7 years of trading, and I really want to give you guys a nice framework here for creating a good trading system for yourself. And I've also recorded a video today that we're probably going to be uploading on our YouTube channel. I talk a lot about market structure and identifying market structure and the behavior of the trend. I think it's super important to begin with the basics and really work our way up from there. Going into the more advanced stuff at a later stage. So make sure, guys, you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you are hitting that bell notification button. And I think on that note, I probably have to go. Because in a couple of minutes, kids are going to get home and they're just going to run into the office and they're going to start throwing around stuff and screaming about Lego and whatever. I have a question. How do you confirm a new resistance? Well, yeah. How do I confirm? How do I confirm new resistance? Well, first, what we want to do is, all right, guys, we have in the comments, make sure you check this out. The shortest, most direct path to predictable trading profits webinar. You have an invitation link right here. So check the comments and register for that webinar. I'm pretty sure it should be tomorrow. So we do on Thursdays, we do special webinars that is highly educational, where we dive deep into different trading subjects to really help you guys on your way to consistent profitability. Make sure you do check that out and register for the webinar. Seiko, I will have to I will have to answer this question at a later time, because now I hear that the kids are coming. I can hear the house kind of shaking. So I gotta close all positions and make sure I protect myself from the ensuing chaos that is coming my way. All right, guys, this is your USD. I would like to thank you all for joining today, and thank you all for being here this week. And I will see you all next Monday, same time, 2 p.m. UTC and 9 a.m. EST. Thank you all for joining, and have a wonderful Wednesday and wonderful rest of the week. Take care.